This story begins in the middle of a storm and inside the castle of the kingdom. The crown prince named Alphonse dies after drinking a poisoned glass of coffee. In there appears Adrienne, the protagonist. She orders a couple of soldiers to dispose of the prince's body. She did it for him. She's obsessed, and that's why she did all this. In the room, 4 dead soldiers are also seen. Adrienne killed the prince on Caesar's orders and thinks that he will love her now. In the Mara, Caesar is sitting on the throne of the kingdom, and everywhere there are many dead soldiers. Adrienne informs him that he took care of the Prince Alphonse, and Caesar smiles, since he cannot hide his great happiness. Caesar congratulates her and promises that when everything is resolved, he will make her the noblest woman in the kingdom. She is capable of doing anything to make Caesar love her, which is why Caesar pulled off a coup and became king. 9 years have passed, and she is in charge of the main palace together with Caesar. She thinks that although she is doing her best to carry out the job that the queen had, she has not done it, since 8 years ago, the noble woman of the palace spoke ill of her behind her back. They said that she ruled without being a queen, and that she was a woman without culture, born in poverty, and that according to rumors, Prince Caesar was not really the prince's cousin. Since it was said that they were half-brothers, Caesar did not receive the blessing of the heavenly god, and that he is the product of an impure union. Caesar comes from a dirty union, unable to become a king. These words made Adrienne angry, so she couldn't stand it anymore and immediately threw herself on top of the countess. Caesar came there and helped the countess to get up. He turned to the girl and asked her why she did that. He also told her that he needs the countess more than he needs her, and tells her that she is frivolous and that is why he cannot take her as his queen. She should be like a virtuous and talented lady who doesn't embarrass him. And until that happens, he won't make her his wife yet. She thought she could do it, but 8 years have passed and she was still his fiancée. She had the ring, but he wasn't married yet. Caesar is in bed with Adrienne. They were going to do it when Caesar mentions that he will make Isabella his queen. She pushes him and asks him why he is going to marry her older sister, since she was the wife of Prince Alphonse and she is an impure widow. Caesar gets upset and tells her that Isabella can remarry because she was a virgin all her life, although Adrienne denies it, since Isabella lost the late prince's son and had an abortion. She is very desperate and she is crying as she said, "You said you loved me, you said you would make me your queen, you said we'd be together forever." To which Caesar feels indifference and insults her, saying that she is a boring woman who gets in his ways and compares her with her sister, and says the noble Isabella is very different from her. At that moment, Adrienne feels shocked and asks Caesar if he was with her sister when the Prince Alphonse died. He does nothing but smile, telling her that Isabella was always his wife from the beginning, since the most powerful man must be next to the most beautiful woman. Adrienne is in pieces, as she did everything for him. She even shows that she lost a finger. All her life was for him. She gave up everything. King Caesar said that Lady Adrienne has gone mad and orders his men to lock her in the West Tower. Later we see in her dreams that she and Caesar are walking through a beautiful forest, where he flatters her and compares her to a flower for being docile. That flower was called Lily of the Valley. Then she wakes up lying on the floor of the tower, and knows that that date will be the coronation ceremony, a ceremony prepared by her only for Caesar. She realizes that lily of the valleys bloom outside and are not treated with the same respect as greenhouse roses. At that moment, Isabella, her sister, appears. She's a very beautiful woman, and she asks why she dared to do that to her husband. She gets upset and thinks to tell her everything about Prince Alphonse, but she is surprised and tells her that she wasn't talking about him. She was referring to Caesar, since the noblest woman in the country, that is, the queen, should be her. Isabella complains why Adrienne didn't give up the position as Caesar's fiancée. She yells at her that it's her fault that she's a widow and has children, to which Adrienne asks her about Alphonse, since he was always good to her sister, but she only answers that all men are good to her, and if she had to give them back all her favors, she should just love them all like a whore. Adrienne knows that his sister does not love Caesar and asks why she did not commit to him instead of Alphonse from the beginning. She simply replies that at the time Caesar was just a simple count, but things are different now, as Caesar will officially be king that day after the coronation ceremony, and Isabella will be his wife and queen. She mischievously mentions that it's a shame Alphonse died, but he didn't make her a queen. That is reason enough to die. Adrienne is angry and doesn't fully understand her. Again, she falters, mentioning that Caesar was everything to her. even more valuable than herself. And she knows that her sister doesn't even love Caesar and just wants to be queen. So she gets up and yells at her, but Isabella laughs, telling her that Caesar begged her to marry him, since he never forgot her and imagined her while hugging our protagonist. She also tells her, "Caesar told me you are too big to hug a man. You have black hair the color of ravens, your breasts are so big and saggy he thought you were a cow, but he said he would protect me for being small. My hair is blonde like that of the angels. Once you have been desired by someone, even if you dedicate and risk your life for a man, you will not get anything in return. They don't know how to appreciate it. Don't trust men. Caesar is going crazy because now I want him. In time, I'll get tired. It reminds me of you, who have been faithful to me for 14 years. I don't like problems. That's why. Please do not annoy me. Anyway, you're my dear sister." At that moment, a man stabs her with a sword in the back, and as she bleeds out, Adrian mentions, "It's not fair. Why was my sacrifice not reciprocated with love? What happened? What did I do wrong? If I could go back, if only the golden rule returned, pay the price of the bad actions committed, and recover the good ones. I would like a nice world. I wish it was, but why? Why didn't I receive anything? I will do it. I can do it. I'll definitely will." Our protagonist was able to return to the past to recover her life. Now she won't make the same mistakes that led her to her downfall. She wakes up, realizes that her hands are small. She looks in the mirror. She looks very young, and also notices that she has a drop of blood on her face. At that moment, a lady appears who starts yelling at her for wasting her time, since she's just a commoner, a servant, like her mother. That day was the day when she was called by her father after a long time, the Cardinal of Marais, who was in priesthood like other priests of the time, had a wife and children. He had Lucretia, a noble lady, as his mistress. Lucretia acted as if she were the legitimate wife of the Cardinal, and in fact, the 3 illegitimate children received the same treatment. Isabella was the second daughter, and was praised as the most beautiful woman in the capital, and was the Cardinal's great pride. On the other hand, born to the Cardinal and a servant girl, Adrian is also his daughter, evicted from the Cardinal's residence. She grew up on a farm, but hey, now our protagonist comes to her father's residence to live. They both stare at each other, and she greets him warmly and tells him that she will try her very hard to learn everything, since she didn't have the opportunity to study much. She also promises that she will make his family name shine and will not shame him. Lucretia tells her that she shouldn't be bad as a girl, she should be like a lily, just as docile. She used to see her as a role model of a noble woman, but now she realizes that she is vulgar. This makes her smile, and she promises her that she will do her best to become a good daughter and will call her mother from now on Lucretia's orders. Now she also meets the beautiful and friendly Isabella, so now she will start her revenge, but in an intelligent way.